Hello, children. I am Madhumita ma'am, and today we all will go on an adventure trip. What is the meaning of an adventure trip? You must have taken a trip to your school, a trip to your village. But what is the difference between that trip and an adventure trip? Now, an adventure trip is full of fun and also lot of difficulties. Now, have you ever gone to a village fair where you had taken a merry-go-round? Though you know that you are afraid of it, but still everybody wants to sit on that, isn't it? So today we will go on an adventure trip which was taken by Sangeeta ma'am. Sangeeta ma'am, who is a teacher of Kendriya Vidyalaya, and she had gone with her group for mountain climbing. Now children, all of you know the roads to the mountains are not that easy. They are not like any normal road. Not the road which we take to go to market or go to our school. The road is completely different. So Sangeeta ma'am and her group had gone and taken that kind of mountainous road. Now mountainous road are kacha road, so it is not easy to walk. So on the very first day of the trip, Sangeeta ma'am and her team went and walked 26 kilometers. So after taking that 26-kilometer trip, what happened? Sangeeta ma'am's feet was swollen. Her feet was full of blisters. पूरा उनके पैर में छाले पड़ गए. So she thought, I won't be able to take this trip tomorrow. What should I do? In the evening, she started thinking, I think I won't be able to go tomorrow. Let me go tomorrow morning and tell the head of that group, who was Brigadier Gyan Singh, that I don't want to take this trip anymore because I'm too tired. My feet is not allowing me to go. So in the next morning, when they were having breakfast, Sangeeta ma'am went. And the moment she stood there, Brigadier Gyan Singh asked, what happened, Sangeeta ma'am? Why are you here? Aren't we getting late? She said, no, sir. But then Brigadier Gyan Singh said, I know your feet are swollen and you are having blisters, but doesn't matter. We have to take the trip. We must go. We must go and resume our journey. So Sangeeta ma'am couldn't tell anything, though in her heart she didn't want to go. But she thought that, oof, what should I do? Should I go? Should I not go? Then that moment, again Brigadier Gyan Singh said, and Sangeeta ma'am, you will be the leader of Group 7. Oh my God, the moment Sangeeta ma'am heard this, she got a headache. She said, my God, I will be the leader? Then there were many questions which came to her mind. So being a leader is a big responsibility. These are some of the questions she thought of. Helping others in carrying their bags. Let the group go ahead and keep to the last. Help those who cannot climb properly. Find a good place to stop and rest. Look after those who are not well. Arrange for food for the group. Above and all, if somebody else is making mistake, the leader has to take the responsibility. Now children, you must be having monitors in the class. So what is the work of a monitor? The monitor takes care of the discipline of the class when teachers are not there. Also, whether the class is neat and clean, everything is the responsibility of the monitor. Now think of that when you do any kind of indiscipline, who gets that scolding? Monitor only gets that scolding, isn't it? So similarly, Sangeeta ma'am thought, oh my God, I don't want to be a leader, but she could not refuse. Now children, being a leader is not that easy. Everybody can be leader, but there are certain characters or certain things which all should have as a leader. हम सभी में वो गुण होने ही चाहिए to be a good leader. So what are the things? Let's see. A role of a leader is to be responsible. What is the meaning of responsible? That means when something is given to you, you take care of it wholeheartedly. आप पूरे responsibility के साथ उसको करने की कोशिश करते हैं. A leader should be honest. Honest means when you face any kind of problem, you must speak about that to your group members, to your teachers as well. Now, a leader should also be kind. इसका मतलब क्या है? sometimes the group members, they do mistakes, but a kind leader is someone who takes care of that mistake, and they think that they are my group members and I should support them and I should rectify their mistake rather than scolding them. A leader should be confident of doing things. They should not think that अरे मुझसे तो ये हो ही नहीं सकता, ये मैं क्यों करूं, ये मुझसे होगा ही नहीं. So when a leader thinks like that, they are not the leaders. A leader should be confident of doing things, and a leader should be courageous. Courageous means the leader should not stop with any difficulties. Even if the leader face challenge, the leader must go ahead. So now you understood being leader is not that easy. So that was the thing Sangeeta ma'am was thinking कि मैं leader बनूंगी तो मुझे ही डांट पड़ेगी हर चीज के लिए. But still they continued their journey. Now after some time they reached near a river, and the river was ice cold water and they had to cross the river. Now it was an adventure trip, so definitely something adventurous has to be done. So Brigadier Gyan Singh said, we have to cross the river. They tied a rope from one side to the other side, and you have to cross the river holding that rope. Now imagine a person who has never crossed the river like this. They were afraid. Sangeeta ma'am was totally scared. Sangeeta ma'am बोली आज तो मैं डूबी, आज मेरे से ये नहीं हो पाएगा, मैं बिल्कुल नहीं कर सकती ये सब चीज़ें. Then she thought that I'll stand at the end so that nobody will look at me and I will be spared. और कोई और जाएगा आगे. So she was standing at the end. But Brigadier Gyan Singh knew that she was the leader of the group. So she called, Sangeeta, please come here. You will be the one who will go now. So Sangeeta ma'am was very scared. She said, oh my God, if I'll fall down in that water, what will happen? If by chance I cannot cross, then what will happen? Then she was so scared. By that time, somebody has pushed her gently and she was inside the water. And the water was freezing cold. She thought, aaj to main gayi. I cannot cross. But still she was holding the rope. And when she reached to the middle, the water was her neck deep. So she thought that, oh my God, now I cannot cross. So she just left that rope and started shouting. But others who were standing near the shore, they said, Sangeeta, you can do it. Of course you can cross the river. That gave her the courage. So she slowly, she started crossing the river holding that rope. And the moment she reached the other side of the river, she was totally thrilled. She was so happy. She thought that I overcame my fear. I could do it without anyone's help. Now children, do you understand how important it is for us to overcome our fear? Though maybe we don't want to do it because we are afraid of something, but still we should always try. We should always give our best effort to do it. So what happens when we face challenges? Now things we learn when we face challenges. When you have faced a challenge, you learn more about yourself. You know what you can do and you learn what you have made up, what you can handle and how you react when something is very painful, how strong you are, or even realizing when do you need to ask help from others. Understood? So it is every time we face a challenge, it makes us stronger. So the way Sangeeta ma'am was stronger after crossing the river, not in terms of her physical strength, but in terms of her mental strength. Now she felt that she was confident that next time I can do it very easily. Isn't it? Now after that, they crossed the river, then they started climbing the mountain. Now climbing mountain is a difficult thing. It is not as easy as walking on the walking on a road or anything which we can do. But climbing mountain needs specific skill. उसके लिए थोड़ा सा समझना पड़ता है, कैसे पकड़ना है, कैसे चलना है, कैसे रहना है. So she was very afraid of doing that also. But the person who was helping her, he was very confident that she can do it. So she was very nicely, she could able to climb on that mountain. Now, after all of them reached the top of 2,134 meters, they had to spend that night on that mountain. So what did they do? They tried to put their tent. So tent is something which is folded. They have to take it out from their bag and they have to put it on the ice. So it was very difficult for them. It was very windy, cold. So what happened? They took it out and they put 2 layers of plastic sheet with a peck and they tried to fix it. Now, why 2 layers of plastic sheet? Why not one? Because when we put layers of clothes, the air is trapped inside those air, and that air, when it gets warm, it keeps us also warm. Whoever is inside that tent, they will be warm. So बड़ी मुश्किल से उन्होंने अपना tent लगाया and they cooked food for them. They cleaned up everything. When we are in mountain, we must learn that whatever we are cooking or whatever there is some trash, we have to clean it that time only. So they were very good people. So after doing all their work, they ate, they cooked, they cleaned everything, put it inside a trash bag, and they thought that they will take it back to the ground when they will go back. So it was a lot of fun for them. And the next morning when they woke up, the next morning when they woke up, they found that it was snowing. White, soft, fluffy snowflakes and were gently falling. Wow, it was so beautiful. Everywhere it was white and white and white. Snow-cladded mountains, the plants, the trees, the grass, everything looked white. So they were so happy that after so much of effort and after climbing with such difficulty, they could see such a nice view. So what did they do? They enjoyed throwing snowballs at each other and making a big snowman. So they really enjoyed their trip and they really learned a lot of things out of that. Now certain questions are coming in my mind. Now when we go for mountain climbing, we need some special tools. That means when we go for driving, we need, like when we drive the two-wheelers, we need helmet, sometimes we need gloves. Similarly, when we go for mountain climbing, there are certain tools, those are needed to climb the mountain. So let's see, let's go one question by one question. The next question is, have you ever seen a hook and rope being used for anything else? Just think, have you ever seen that? What else can we use if we want to cross a river in the mountain? Now, last question is, why do we need extra energy on the mountains? Now, let's see. Now, children, you can see when we climb mountain, it is a slopey region. So, we need to protect ourselves. We need to protect our head. We need to protect our elbow. We need to protect everything, our body. And we have to tie a harness so that if by chance we fall down from that mountain, we won't be hurt. We won't hurt ourselves. So these are certain things which you can use. Helmet, harness, rope, ice axe. Ice axe is used to break the ice if you are going for a mountain which is full of ice. Now you understood these are certain tools which you can use. Second, use of hook and rope. You must have seen in construction sites, this first thing under construction, the rope and hook is used to pick up the things, to pick up the heavy things. The heavy things becomes very light when we use this kind of arrangement. With the help of rope and hook, they just lift it and take it from one place to another place. And there is another use of rope and hook. What is that? Have you ever gone for fishing? You must have seen someone going for fishing. What do? They tie some food items in the hook of that fishing thing and rope, and they put it inside the water. When the fish takes that food, it gets tied to that hook, and so that we can get the fish. So these are certain uses of rope and hook. Now, can we cross, all of us will cross the river like this, holding the rope? No. There are other ways of crossing a river. What are the other ways of crossing the river, particularly rivers in the mountain region? Now, we can cross the river using raft. Using raft, we can cross from one side to the other side. We don't have to, as Sangeeta ma'am had gone for an adventurous trip, that is why she had crossed the river like that. Otherwise, we can use the raft. There is another way. We can also use the bridge. It can be made up of wood, it can be a concrete bridge, it depends on that place. But you can also cross the river using bridge. The last question was, why do we need extra energy when we go up to the mountain? Now, children, you know about the gravitational pull which pulls us downward. Now, when we are going up to the mountain, we are going against that gravitational pull. So definitely we have to pull ourselves and go up. So that needs extra energy. That is why we need extra energy when we go, as we go, and also the path is slopey. As we climb up, we need extra energy for that. Now, as I had told you, they had put a tent when they reached at the peak, and they had dug a drain around the tent. Why have they dug a drain around the tent? The drain was dug around the tent so that insects, snakes, etc. could not enter the tent. Okay, and also when we dug a drain around the tent, it keeps the tent more stable, so that the tent won't be blown away by the wind. The wind is, like the wind speed is very high up in the mountain. So we need to be very extra careful regarding this. Now children, when Sangeeta ma'am was in group 7, there's something very funny happened. There were girls from Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland. And children, the girls from that group, they didn't understand Hindi at all. And she was the only teacher from Kendriya Vidyalaya. Though she was so happy to have so many friends, but she could not communicate with them only because they couldn't understand Hindi and she could not understand their language. So it was sad for her. So once when they were going that trip, so what happened? By mistake, there was a girl from Mizoram whose name was Khondobi. So she thought that let's go out and have something to eat. So they went to someone's field and took 2 cucumbers. Now that person whose field was that, he got angry. He started shouting in his language and Khondobi started explaining in her language and Sangeeta ma'am started explaining in Hindi. Now 3 of them were talking, but no one was able to understand the other person. Has it ever happened to you that you are telling something and your friend was not able to understand you because of language problem? Children, it is very nice and interesting to understand and learn others' language. It gives us a different view of life. हम लोग जब एक दूसरे की बात समझ सकते हैं, दूसरे की लैंग्वेज समझ सकते हैं, तो बहुत मज़ा आता है. Then what happened? During that, the whole group went ahead and Khondobi and Sangeeta ma'am could not find them, and that was they stayed back. Now it was getting evening and they were very, very scared. They said, हम लोग तो भाई यहाँ पे रह गए. But then they started shouting for their group, then and whistling. And Khondobi started singing at the top of her voice, thinking that somebody will hear them and they can join that group. Why do you think that Khondobi was singing so loudly? Because she was nervous or she wanted to be heard by others. It can be both. जब हम लोगों को कभी हम लोग जब नर्वस होते हैं, जब हम लोग जाते हैं मेरी गो राउंड में या लंदन विल में बैठते हैं, तो क्या करते हैं? जैसे ही हम लोग रोलर कोस्टर या ऐसे किसी भी चीज़ पर बैठते हैं, हम लोग तुरंत चिल्लाना शुरू कर देते हैं to overcome our fear. So children, it is very important. You can take your own like steps to overcome. If somebody sings, some people they shout, some people just stand like this. So it is up to you. But understand that you have to overcome your fear. Now, children, do you know who is she? She is Bachendri Pal. And Sangeeta ma'am and her group met her when they were on that trip. Do you know why she is so famous? She was the first Indian woman to reach the Everest. Now, children, Bachendri Pal, from the beginning, when she was of your age, she was 11 or 12 years of age, she had gone for a picnic with her friend. And without any help, without any support, all of them climbed up to 4,000 meters. Now imagine, without any help from outside, without any proper equipments, no helmet, no shoe, but still they were able to climb on that mountain because of their, what is that? Confidence. Because of that confidence. Now, when Bachendri Pal thought that I can climb up to 4,000 meters, so I can climb the Everest as well. From that age only, her only aim was to climb the Everest. So when she grew up, she joined the mountain college, like College of Mountaineering, to learn the tricks of mountain climbing. And after learning that trip, she took that trip to Everest for climbing the Everest. Now the trip was very, very difficult. Why? Because when the Everest is of it is the highest peak, so lot of snowstorm and lot of wind and the path is not that easy. So the whole group, when they were in the midway, they are struck with a huge snowstorm, and half of the group decided not to go further and went back to the ground level. Now think of that तुमने इतना मेहनत किया, आधे रास्ते चढ़ भी आए, लेकिन तुम्हें कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आया, इसीलिए तुम वापस चले गए. But Bachendri Pal was different. She was very confident that I will go to the top no matter what. And she was the only woman in that group. They took that journey, and the journey was full of difficulties, and she reached at the top, and it was so wonderful moment for her. She thought that I have achieved something which was not possible for me, even not possible for me, anyone. Any woman was not gone to the Everest. So she was the first woman to reach the top, and that was only because she had that confidence and she had the desire to face the challenge. Now, this, always remember, children, we all face difficulties, we all face challenges, but we should always understand, when we think it is difficult, we never try things. We think that अरे ये तो बहुत मुश्किल है, ये तो हमसे होगा ही नहीं, ये हम कर ही नहीं सकते. लेकिन जब हम लोग उसको चैलेंज की तरह लेते हैं, बचेंद्री पाल जी की तरह, so we can face any challenges and we can face any obstacle to reach to the goal. Children, always remember, you will face challenges, you will face difficulties, but no matter what, you must overcome your fear, your challenges, your difficulties to reach your goal. Remember that. Accept the challenges so that you can feel the joy of victory. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you so much.